This episode of WWE SmackDown is the last show before we go into this Sunday's Money in the Bank show. So let's unwrap this, show to see what's happened. So here we go. SmackDown opening with the highlight reel featuring Dean Ambrose as, Chris Jericho's guest. Also, everyone from, the Money in the Bank match was also coming into the ring to, give their promos saying that they're, going to win it. And this led it up to a 6-man tag later on the main event. So the main event of SmackDown will be a 6-man tag. Before I go on, every time I see that SmackDown has tag team matches as the main events, it reminds me of Teddy Long, because Teddy Long was also the famous guy to always book tag team matches as the main event. And right now it appears that SmackDown, every week also gets 6-man tags on the main event, which I'm not criticize that. I just think it's funny that they fire a guy but they keep his style of booking, so to speak. But yeah, it was a cool opening. I like Chris Jericho and highlight reel and all that kind of stuff, so I'm really pumped to see what's going on next. But anyway, let's move on to the first match of the night, which we saw Kofi Kingston versus Aiden English, Luke Gallows, and Big Cass in a fatal 4-way match. Kofi Kingston actually defeated Aiden English, Luke Gallows, and Big Cass in the match, preventing the tag team titles showcase at Money in the Bank. And it's going to be interesting to see how this match is going to take place at Money in the Bank, because I'm, as you know, really pumped to see their fatal 4-way tag team match at Money in the Bank, because I think all this team, both the New Day, the Van Villains, the Club, and Big Cass and Enzo Amore are fucking good team. So I think they're gonna do all crazy stuff in Money in the Bank, which I really hope. But I'm really pumped to see how the match will turn out. Hopefully it will turn out great, because if the match is good, I will be fucking happy. But anyway, after that match we had a commercial. After the commercial, they did a backstage bit with Charlotte and Dana Brooke, comforting Becky Lynch and Natalya. This was built for her match later. After that kind of weird backstage thing, we saw another match, our second match for tonight, which is Baron Corbin versus Zack Ryder. Baron Corbin actually defeats Zack Ryder and had a stare down with Dolph Ziggler afterwards. Ziggler was, as well on the commentary for the match. And here's the thing I don't understand. How many times has Baron Corbin, faced Dolph Ziggler in a pay-per-view? Is this like the 4th or 5th time they faced in an actual pay-per-view? Like, don't they have anything else to do with these two guys? Because I'm sick and tired of seeing the same fucking promos or storyline or feud over and over and over again. This reminds me of Randy Orton versus John Cena. But to be honest, you can't compare John Cena and Randy Orton to this feud, because both, Randy Orton's and John Cena's feud was much better in my opinion. I just think that Baron Corbin versus Dolph Ziggler's feud is getting boring. It's not interesting anymore, because they just face each other, and after the win, nothing happened to them. So it's kind of pointless, in my opinion. But I really hope that after Money in the Bank, that this will be the last fucking feud between these two for now. Because if this storyline or feud continue, I will be fucking pissed, guys. Because I don't know why WWE's, doing, the same feud over and over again, because people like, the wrestling fan, we get, sick and tired of this thing, and we are right now. And I'm not, talking shit about Baron Corbin's or Ziggler's feud, because I like Baron Corbin, and I also like Dolph Ziggler. But to see this feud every week, same, repeat itself every single week and every single pay-per-view, it gets really fucking boring. But anyway, let's talk about a third match for tonight, which is Rusev versus Kalisto. Rusev defeated Kalisto before putting a post-match beating on both Kalisto and his partner Sin Cara. This led to the man himself, Titus O'Neil, to run in to make the save. And the Rusev versus Titus O'Neil match, I'm also kind of looking forward to see, because I know that both Rusev and Titus O'Neil can also have a good match. To be honest, I want Titus O'Neil to capture the title, but I'm kind of skeptical if he actually will win this, because there was, unfortunately, the last guy that won any big title in WWE was Mark Henry, and he was black, and I feel like Titus O'Neil deserves to win the United States title. But we all know that Vince McMahon has strange and other ideas, so it's going to be interesting to see who will win. But if I could choose, I wanted to give the US title to Titus O'Neil. Now let's talk about the 5th match of the night, which is the phenomenal one, AJ Styles versus Xavier Woods. AJ Styles, of course, defeated, Xavier Woods with the calf crusher. This was, a setup, beforehand by a backstage bit. So this wasn't, nothing too special. The match was good. Nothing special, but it was actually a very good wrestling match, to be honest. I mean, Xavier Woods is a guy that can have good matches, and I don't need to describe how I feel about AJ Styles, because as you can hear in his name, he is the phenomenal one, and that, name the phenomenal one is actually true. So I think we move on. Now after that, we have the 6th match for tonight, which is Charlotte versus Natalya. Charlotte actually defeated Natalya, while Dana Brooke and Becky Lynch fought on each other outside the ring, which led to them getting disqualified. So they was thrown out of the match. So yeah, good Divas match, or women's match, sorry, as well. I kind of also like Charlotte's and Becky Lynch feud and stuff like that. So it's gonna be interesting to see how the match will then take place on Sunday. But anyway, let's talk about the main event of this show, which we all love. Which the main event, as I said in the beginning, is a tag team or 6-man tag team, which is Dean Ambrose teaming up with Cesaro and Sami Zayn to take on Kevin Owens, Chris Jericho, and Alberto Del Rio. And of course, the face always win for some strange reason, because Dean Ambrose, Cesaro, and Sami Zayn actually defeat Kevin Owens, Chris Jericho, and Del Rio. The match ended because the heel team couldn't work together and took each other out before Ambrose pinned Owens to score the win for the babyface team. And this is common at WWE storyline, because every time they have Money in the Bank or the Royal Rumble, everybody's working together, but in the end they start to attack each other or betray each other, just because to show that I'm gonna win the Money in the Bank and I don't trust you, blah 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 blah, which is I'm 100% okay with. But same here, I mean, same kind of style is repeating itself, so it's kind of unpredictable. It's kind of predictable how shit will turn out. But I'm not talking trash about this main event, because I actually like this main event. I mean, come on, you have Dean Ambrose and Cesaro, Sami Zayn taking on Kevin Owens, Chris Jericho, and Alberto Del Rio. I mean, everybody of these guys are big famous stars. Okay, except Del Rio, because he's okay, but he's not so popular in my opinion. But anyway, I like this main event. When I heard about a 6-man tag team match, I kind of felt like, okay, this is gonna be half boring. But I actually think that the match was actually pretty good. But anyway, guys, that's all for this show. This was okay, show for Money in the Bank, for the go home show for Money in the Bank. The matches I really liked is the Fatal 4-Way match we had. I also liked AJ Styles versus Xavier Woods, and also the main events. And I thought it was a decent wrestling show to watch. And I'm really pumped to see and looking forward to see how things will turn out at Money in the Bank, because I'm also interested in who will actually win the Money in the Bank. I mean, we have so many competitors that's going, that have the chance to win the Money in the Bank. I know many people say that Dean Ambrose might win, but I highly doubt it, because they kind of pushed towards Raw that he was going to win it. But every time WWE tries to make a guy look that he's going to win, there's also the other guy who's going to win instead of Dean Ambrose. But I'm so pumped to see how it's going to turn out. But anyway, guys, that's all for this show. Please like, subscribe, and let me know in the comment section down below what you think about this show. Do you like it? Do you hate it? And see you in the next video. And as always, have a nice day. Peace, guys.